Hey Tradies, welcome back to the Hey Tradies podcast. Today we are talking about reviews, and I want to start with a really simple question. How many customers did you ask for a Google review last week? Not how many reviews did you get? How many did you actually ask for? Because there's a really important difference. You can't completely control whether somebody leaves you a review, but you can control whether or not you ask them. And I think this is one of those things that many trades businesses know they should be doing, but there's absolutely no process around it. Someone remembers to ask occasionally. Someone in the office sends an email. Maybe there is a link buried somewhere on an invoice. And then 6 months later, you look at your Google profile and think, why aren't we getting more reviews? Well, are you actually asking for them? And are you asking more than once? Because your customers are busy too. I want to talk about how to make asking for a Google review part of your normal job process, how to get your team involved, and I'm going to give you some actual scripts so you can steal and use them in your business. Why Google reviews matter. Let's think about this from your customer's perspective. I've got a leaky hot water cylinder, or I need an electrician, or my heat pump has stopped working. What am I probably going to do? Pull out my phone, Google, plumber near me, electrician near me, heat pump company near me. Before I've even spoken to you, I'm already making decisions about your business. I'm looking at your website. I'm looking at your Google profile. I'm looking at your reviews. Do you have 12 reviews or 200? Are they recent? What are people saying about you? Did you turn up when you said you would? Were you tidy? Did you communicate well? Would they use you again? That customer hasn't even picked up the phone yet, and other customers are already selling your business for you. That's social proof. And for residential trade businesses in particular, it's incredibly valuable. Don't wait until you need reviews. Here's the mistake I see. Someone decides we need more Google reviews. So suddenly everyone gets really enthusiastic about asking. You get 10 reviews and then everybody forgets about it. And that's not a system. I want asking for a review to be part of finishing the job. Exactly like completing your timesheet, taking your photos, finishing your checklist, getting the customer to sign off, sending the invoice, asking for the Google review. It should just happen. Every job. Every time. The best time to start is on site. And I think your first opportunity is before your tradesman even leaves. You've finished the job, you've cleaned up, you're showing the customer what you've done. And this is also a really good opportunity to ask, are you happy with everything we've done today? Because before asking somebody to tell Google about how great you are, make sure they are actually happy. And if they're not, you've got an opportunity to deal with it. Assuming they're happy, your tradie can ask for a review right there. And this does not need to be some big awkward sales pitch. It can literally be, awesome. If you're happy with everything we've done today, we'd really appreciate a Google review. It helps small businesses like ours massively. I'll flick you through a link so it's easy to find. That's it. 10 seconds. Give your team a script. And this is something I really recommend. Don't just tell your team, ask for Google reviews. Give them the words, because otherwise they'll think, what am I supposed to say? And then it feels awkward, so they don't do it. Have 2 or 3 simple scripts somewhere they can access them. Maybe they're inside Fergus, maybe they're in your team manual. Maybe they're saved as a text replacement on their phones. Just make it ridiculously easy. Script 1, on site. If you're happy with everything we've done today, we'd really appreciate a quick Google review. It really helps our business, and I'll text you the link so you don't have to go looking for it. Script 2, text message. Hi, customer name. Thanks again for having us out today. If you're happy with the work, we'd really appreciate a quick Google review. Here's the link. Give them the link. Thanks for supporting our business. Script 3, after the payment. Thanks, name. We've received your payment. We hope you're really happy with the work. If you haven't had a chance yet, we'd love a quick Google review. It only takes a minute and it really helps other customers find us. Short, simple, human. Your team doesn't need to remember paragraphs. Ask more than once. Now, this is probably the part some people are going to feel uncomfortable about. Ask more than once. If you've listened to my episode about following up on quotes, you'll know I feel exactly the same way about that. People are busy. Think about how many times you've received something and thought, I'll do that later, then forgotten. That doesn't mean you didn't want to do it. You just have a life. Your customers are exactly the same. So, asking once isn't necessarily enough. The tradesperson asks on site, then the link gets text. Then the invoice might contain another reminder. And once the customer is paid, your automated email sequence asks again. And once your customer has paid, your automated email sequence asks again. And if they still haven't done it, follow up again. Obviously, once they've reviewed you, stop asking. Don't assume somebody ignoring your first request means they don't want to leave one. They may genuinely have forgotten. Automate it. And this is where systems can make such a difference, because I'm definitely not suggesting someone in your office needs a spreadsheet where they're manually remembering to email every customer 3 times. Automate as much as you can. You've already got the customer's information. You've already got their email address. You've already got their mobile number. And you've already got the job information. So, use it. Depending on your systems, you can create workflows between Fergus and an email marketing or CRM tool. The customer pays. That triggers the next part of the customer journey. Thanks for your payment. Then, how did we do? Then, would you mind leaving us a Google review? Now, your team isn't relying on memory. The process just happens. Put the link everywhere. Another really simple thing, don't make people search for you. If you want a review, give them the direct link. Put it in the text. Put it in the email. Have it available on your invoice. You could have a QR code somewhere appropriate. Make leaving a review take as little effort as possible, because every additional step you make someone take gives them another opportunity to think, I'll do it later. Get your field team involved. I also really like turning this into something the team owns. You could even make it a bit of a competition. If customers mention the team member by name in the Google review, track it. Maybe there's a monthly prize. Maybe there's a team shout. Maybe every named 5-star Google review earns them something. It doesn't have to be massive. The point is you're getting the field team thinking about the customer experience, because suddenly it's not just, I've finished installing the hot water cylinder. It's, did I communicate well? Did I leave the site tidy? Was the customer happy? Did I explain what I've done? Would this customer recommend us? That's a really healthy thing for a team to think about. Track the ask, not the result. This ties directly into what I've been talking about recently around business metrics. Don't only track how many Google reviews did we receive? Track how many customers did we ask for a Google review? Because that's the number you can control. Let's say you complete 20 residential jobs every week, and 5 of those customers leave you a review. That's potentially around 260 reviews over a year if you maintained that pace. Now, imagine what your Google review profile would look after 12 months of doing that consistently. Compare that to a business that remembers to ask for reviews twice a year. This stuff compounds. What about commercial clients? Now, obviously, this will look a bit different depending on your business. If you're doing a lot of residential maintenance, I would absolutely make this a priority. You've got lots of customers, lots of completed jobs, lots of opportunities. Commercial is a little bit different. You might have a smaller number of clients. You're dealing with property managers, facilities managers, other businesses, and they're probably less likely to jump on Google after every job. But I'd still have it in the workflow. Ask, because you don't get the review you don't ask for. Respond to your reviews. And then there's the bit that businesses forget. Somebody has taken the time out of their day to tell the world you're awesome. Reply to them. I would aim to respond within 24 hours where possible and make the response actually sound like a human. If someone says, "Great service, arrived on time, highly recommend," you don't need to write War and Peace. Something like, "Thanks so much, John. Really appreciated your feedback and glad we could get it sorted for you." Done. But if someone has written a really thoughtful review explaining how your team helped, give them a thoughtful reply. Match the energy. They've made an effort, make an effort back. And yes, sometimes you'll get a bad one. Not every review will be 5 stars. That's business. If you get a negative review, don't immediately jump online while you're angry and write a defensive essay. Find out what happened. Speak to your team. If appropriate, contact the customer. Then respond professionally. Because remember, your response isn't only for that customer, it's for the next 100 potential customers reading it. Sometimes seeing how a business handles a problem can actually build more trust than seeing nothing but perfect reviews. Make it part of your customer journey. So, if I was setting this up for trade businesses, I'd make the process something like this. Job completed. Team confirms the customer is happy. Team member asks for the review. Customer receives the direct link. Invoice goes out. Customer pays. Thank you message goes out with another review request. If there's still no review, another friendly reminder follows. Review comes in. Someone responds within 24 hours. Done. That's a system. Nobody is waking up on Tuesday thinking, "Oh shit, we haven't asked anyone for Google reviews for 3 months." Action step. So here's the action step this week. Don't try and build a massive automated marketing system. Start really simple. Create your Google review script. Give it to your team and make asking for a review part of your job completion checklist. Then make sure everyone has access to the direct link. Once that's happening consistently, then automate the follow-up, because the goal isn't to have a big push on Google reviews this month. The goal is to still be asking for them on every suitable job 12 months from now. And if you're listening to this thinking, we don't have any of these follow-up processes, or perhaps you've got Fergus, but you're not using it to create consistent workflows across your team. That's exactly the kind of thing we help tradies sort out. Through our Fergus Power Hours, implementation work, and monthly support. We can help you map out these processes, set up the systems, and make sure things like customer follow-up aren't relying on you remembering to do them at 9 o'clock at night. Because a good system should make doing the right thing easier. And then it happens consistently. And that's when you start seeing results. Catch you in the next episode. And if you've got something out of today's episode, do me a favor and share it with another tradie. And if you're enjoying the podcast, a quick follow or rating on your favorite podcast app goes a long way. It helps tradies find the show and get their business sorted.